let's look at our science critic. This fellow, he made a 45-minute video, and in it he criticized the scientific method, the genuine scientific method. And one of the issues, the one he brought up in this segment of his film, is whether science is knowledge. That's one issue. And then the other secondary issue is whether knowledge is belief. It's just a stronger belief. Is that what knowledge is? Okay, so let's find out what he says. Here it is. Let me put him on. You'll hear him in his own words. Okay, let's see if I can set him in motion. Here it goes. The questions and issues to be addressed in this rebuttal include: is science about knowing, about knowledge? And is knowledge merely a stronger belief?
Is science about knowledge? Well, it certainly looks like it has something to do with that, doesn't it? If knowledge is justified true belief, then doesn't that mean that it was always belief? But at the end of the day, science is all about furthering knowledge.
Okay, so he went around in circles. He says knowledge, science is knowledge, knowledge is belief. Perhaps he didn't address that, and then without defining knowledge either, he just says, well, then you need more knowledge to have more science. That's all he said. Not very smart fellow at all. Okay, but let's address what he said, because we have to address what he failed to do, which is, first let's define knowledge. We look up the word. Wikipedia says the following, says, often defined as true belief. Okay, there is a wide agreement among philosophers that it is a form of what? True belief. Okay, despite the agreement about the general characteristics of knowledge listed above, many deep disagreements remain regarding its exact definition. So here we are, 2,000 plus years after Plato defined it as justified true belief or something along those lines, and they still are unable to define the word knowledge. That's interesting. And we're talking about philosophers and whoever, English majors, whoever's out there, dictionary writers, they cannot define the word knowledge. While there is wide agreement among philosophers that propositional knowledge is a form of true belief, many controversies in philosophies focus on justification, on whether it's a justified true belief, whether the belief is justified. So they work on that justified issue, whether it is needed at all, how to understand it, and whether something else besides it is needed. And dictionary.com says, what is the opposite of knowledge? Unbelief. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that after so many hundreds of years, thousands of years, they haven't figured out what knowledge is. This is what Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy has to say about it. Traditional approaches to knowledge have it that knowledge has to do with factors like truth and justification. Whether knowledge requires safety, sensitivity, reliability, or independence from certain kinds of luck has proven controversial. But something that all these potential conditions on knowledge seem to have in common is that they have some sort of intimate connection with belief. Although it is admittedly difficult to make the relevant connection precise, there is an intuitive sense in which every factor we've examined as a candidate for being relevant to knowledge has something to do with beliefs. So what does Stanford say? Well, that it's belief. Okay? Everybody says that knowledge is just belief. Whether it's justified, whether it's true, we don't care about any of that. It's belief. That's the key word. Belief and knowledge are synonyms. You could say that knowledge is just a stronger belief that people have. I have a stronger belief that God exists. I call it knowledge. I know God exists. And what did you say? You just said that you have a stronger belief than the guy who's an atheist. So it's just a question of degrees. How strong is your belief, And so here's for you to take, this is your takeaway, what you can take home with you. These are the issues. Etymology of science is knowledge. Sire, I think it's the way it's pronounced in Latin. So it comes from sire, meaning to know. That's how our forefathers defined knowledge, and they did a lousy job of it. Okay, they had no idea what they were talking about. Because science has nothing to do with knowledge. But let's concede and say that it does. Okay, is science knowledge? That's the first question you should ask. If science is all about knowledge, gaining knowledge, accumulating knowledge, perfect, okay, let's define it that way, is knowledge belief. Well, all these people say it's belief. In 2,000 years, they haven't redefined or changed the definition that Plato had, and they still can't agree, and they don't have a definition they can put in front of you. And then if science is knowledge and knowledge is belief, is science belief? Is that what science is about? Hopefully, belief belongs to religion. It's got to do with opinion, with something personal, with something subjective, whereas science is an objective explanation, in the case of physics, of a mechanism. You tell someone how something happened, like my famous test, you let go of the pencil and it falls to the ground. And you explain in your own words how you think that happened. You make a movie of it, it's objective. What's objective is the movie. Your belief of it is something else, or my belief in it. Those are something else. The explanation, the mechanism I showed, that's objective. I can make a movie of it, you can watch it and say, okay, I understand what you are proposing. Doesn't mean you have to believe it, but you have to understand what I just showed you. And that's not called knowledge, it's called explanation. That's what science is. Science is explanation. Knowledge, that belongs completely to religion because that has to do with belief, as these people have said.